Yes, I'm so happy to be on this evening on the clinic with Oluwatosin Oladimeji Ladipo. I was a bit, agitated, thinking that the network is not going to be friendly this evening. We are at the end of it. We are on. Yes, I want to say hello to all our viewers, and I believe, like our usual greetings to all of you, I want to believe you're well, you're good, and you have not stopped keeping safe. As you all know, that this is the clinic with Oluwatosin Oladimeji Ladipo. It's an online program where we come in every Sunday to impact people. We always come, we always have guests to always impact our viewers with their wisdom, with their knowledge, with their experiences. They love pouring it out the way it is, taking it real. That is what we do on this program. And several people have asked me, Tosin, clinic, what's it all about? Fine, we've been hearing the clinic. Now, the clinic is a platform where we help the youth and young adults to maintain virtue while breaking limits. That is what the clinic is all about. And we also catch the children young by giving them the right orientation about life. That is all we do on the clinic with Oluwatosin Oladimeji Ladipo. And we started a series, I think like a month plus now. We started a series on the girl child. Yes, on the girl child. Somebody has accused me, Tosin, you've not been saying the girl child, you've been saying child girl. Okay, don't mind me. Don't mind me. Now I'm correcting myself this evening on the girl child. That is what we are discussing. That is the series we are going to conclude this evening. And not to waste too much of our time, I have fantastic guests, like you all know, that all our guests have always been fantastic. And this evening guests too, they are not going to be left out. They are always very, very fantastic. And if you can remember that they've been here once, that because of the network was so bad that we have to stop halfway. But we thank God that today we are on and we are having them. I'm dancing already. Yes, I'm dancing because they really want to pour it out the way it is. And the topic we'll be treating is the upbringing of the teenage girl child. That is what we'll be discussing this evening. The upbringing of the teenage girl child. And please let me formally introduce our guests to you. They are couples, husband and wife. They are husband and wife. And the husband is, let me tell you who he is. He's an IT professional. That is all, everything he said he wants us to say about him, because that was what was sent to me. He's an IT professional, and I want to leave it the way he has said it. Yes, he's an IT professional. And the person sitting beside him, can't you see that pretty woman? Yes. Let me introduce her to you. She is the wife of the man sitting beside her. Her name is Mrs. Fumi Ikiebe. She's a banker, and she has been a banker for over 10 years. Yes. And you can see how pretty she is. She's not only beautiful, she's also bold, and she's braining. That is who Mrs. Fumi Ikiebe is. Mr. Jackson, I'm not saying it because you are there, but I'm only saying the reality about her. She is BBB. Beauty, bold, and beautiful. So you are welcome this evening on our program. It's nice having you formally. I have introduced you and I'm welcoming you. Nice having you around this evening. Both Mr. Jackson Ikiebe and Mrs. Fumi Ikiebe. Nice having you around because they are ready to give it to us the way it is. Is there anything more you would like to tell us about yourself, Ma and Sam?
What you said is sufficient. We are fine.
Really? Okay.
We are happy to be here.
All right. Thank you so much. Would that be all, Pastor Jackson?
For now, that's all.
All right.
Probably if time permits, if you want us to say more, maybe we will say. But for now, let's just keep it at that level.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Now we have questions for you, which you're going to be answering for us. Now, our first question to you. Now I'm bringing out my paper. Yes. Our first question to you is, at what age does a girl of this present age become a teenager? At what age? Can you say a girl is a teenager?
Okay, let me go first.
Okay.
I will just go with the Bible, with the dictionary meaning of a teenager. A teenager, it's a girl or a boy between the ages of 13 to
Okay.
19.
Okay.
To 19. So I guess that's the period at which a child is a teenager. So, and also, it's also, how would I say, maturity levels also differ from child to child. So it's possible to see a girl of 11 that is as matured as a girl of 14,
Okay.
and you can equally see a girl of 14 that doesn't look as matured, and she might look as if she's a girl of 10. So maturity levels really differ from children, but sticking to the dictionary meaning of a teenager is just between the ages young adults, or whatever they call themselves nowadays, between the ages of 13 to 19.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma. Would that be all, sir? Do you want to add something to it, sir?
Well, not really. I think the basic thing is there's a definition for that word, teenage. So it's basically from 13 to 19. And like my wife said, the maturity level from a child to another child differs. A child of 10 or a child of even 9 can behave more maturely than a child of 15. That is what is happening this day. And that's why we tend to call that we're in the jet age, whereby children of even a younger age, what they do and what they say compared to them is totally different. So we will not now say because of the behavior of a child at the level of maturity, we now begin to call them teenager. No, we will not do that. All we need to do as parents is to tutor them to ensure that what they are going into, they are going out, they are not going out of the line, that they are still within the line and within the doctrine or whatever ethics or whatever training the parent must have given the boy or the girl. Although the focus today is purely on the girl child. And I believe that God will help us in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your contributions and your answer. I really appreciate it. But something I really holding on to what you said now, sir, is that you cannot say because a child is so matured, now start calling the child a teenager. It shouldn't be. At least you should still treat the person as a child that the person is. That's a good one. Thank you so much. I cannot say my 5-year-old boy is behaving like an adult. Do you understand? No, that's a good one. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, our next question to you is: what are the attributes and attitude peculiar with teenage girls? The attributes and attitude peculiar with teenage girls.
Okay, maybe I should take it this time around. Then I will hand over the party to my wife. I think when a child becomes, because it's a period they all look forward to. And in fact, I want to use our own children as an example. They are in the teen age. When they were to clock that age, there's so much expectation. There's so much things that, oh, daddy, when I'm so age, this is what I'm going to be doing and all that. They are so bold at that level. They want to question every authority, everything that you ask them to do. They will ask you, but why? Things they were not asking before, they will begin to contend those authority. That, but why must I do this? Why not this? I mean, sometimes I see my wife and my teenage girls arguing over what to wear to a particular occasion, because now they tend to want to behave like adults. They say, no, mommy, I believe will look better on me than this one. And my wife now said, no, you should wear this. So when that contention comes, of course, they will always come down. Daddy, what do you think? And sometimes too, they will come behind to ask me questions. And because I know the kind of wonderful girls that we have, I will also ask them the question, so, what is mommy saying about it? Immediately I say, what is mommy saying about it? Say, must you always go with mommy? But I need to let them know that we are one. And on the basis of that, whatever mommy is saying is what daddy is also saying. So at that point, I mean, you know the behavior that comes to us, they will just go angrily, or somehow we talk to them in a very polite manner. We engage ourselves, then we agree on the way forward from there. They want to have their way. They want to challenge every order that you are giving them. And not just that alone. They want to behave in a certain way, maybe they are not the type that maybe put powder on their face before they want to be doing that, because they believe that they are getting older and they want to look good. Their appearance now becomes something they care so much about. What they put on, what they wear, I mean, their look, everything about them, they now begin to watch it, because there's some level of development that is coming into their life that they were not seeing before, and they want to make sure that they keep that secure with themselves. Maybe I will leave the rest to my wife to see if there's anything.
What I want to add is they are more conscious about their bodies. That I can say for sure. You know, they are conscious about their looks, like you said. You know, that was when they don't start asking you for one or two things. You know, they might just ask you that, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? You know, I think the teenage years really are question years. Questions upon questions. You have to explain a lot, because, you know, they see themselves as, in quotes, like an adult. So they want to be treated as such. So that's basically what I've noticed.
Thank you so much, sir. Mike, I said I'm smiling. Something crossed my heart while you were speaking, man. That I was a teenage girl. Pastor, for me, you were a teenage girl. Were you like that? What were your own attributes as a teenage girl?
Okay, I can recall as a teenager, actually, I was actually also very conscious of my body. And I can remember that I have, while growing up, I have my mom's sisters living with us. So my aunties, they would always living with us. So when they are, probably when they are applying makeup, I will go and sit and look at how they apply makeup. It could be an empty powder they threw away. I won't go and throw it in the dustbin. I will keep that thing and start applying it, you know, just to feel as if you know, sometimes they will just say, oh yeah, bring your face. I will be so happy when they told me to, when they tell me to bring my face, so that they put powder for me, or maybe put lip gloss or something. So I'm like, I'm now becoming a young, you know, so I sit around them, particularly in the areas of how good I should look or something. So I sort of look at what they are doing, where they when they put eyeshadow, I try to just touch their eyeshadows too and rub on my face. Sometimes they say, is that the way to rub it? You're not looking so horrible, you know. And they jokingly laugh that you're not supposed to be doing this now. This is not the time for this. You will get to that time, you'll be tired of doing it, you know. So I can recall that I just enjoy being around them, particularly when they are dressing up, looking at what they are doing.
No wonder you're looking this good. I love that. I really love that. Now, our next question to both of you is that, what things should parents discuss with their teenage daughter? What are the things you feel you should discuss with your teenage daughter?
I think, well, let me go for that question before.
Okay.
I think parents should discuss absolutely everything with them, right from how to take care of themselves, values, most importantly, your values, you know, instilling values into them, about their education, which is at that period should be paramount. You know, you should discuss virtually everything, sex education, everything, whatever it is that's, you know, current affairs, you know, everything really, everything should be discussed. That's my own take. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mas.
If you have prying children that pry a lot like hers, they will ask you everything. And sometimes I will be like, I'm tired. You know, they will ask you virtually, Mom, what is this? Why is, you know, they will go as far as asking you, why is Corona now killing this one? What's happening here? You know, they ask from current affairs to, Mommy, what is the meaning of this? Mommy, what is the meaning of that? They ask all sorts of questions. And the owners, right, it really lies on you to ensure you answer them, so that they won't go and ask the wrong people who will give them the wrong answers and eventually puts one into trouble. Yeah.
Thank you, Ma. Now we want to hear from you, sir.
Well, I think she has said it all. There should not be any limitation in what you discuss with your teenage girls, because the moment you restrict yourself, I mean, I've seen parents that a child will come to and ask some certain question. Instead of the parent to educate that child on the question they are asking, they are pushed away because the parent felt that, look, it is not yet time to teach that child that particular question that a child is asking. For example, a child can say, Mommy, what is it about conception? And questions like that. And you see the parents say, where did you hear that? Never you talk anything about that again. They have pushed that child away. But I can guarantee you that that child, something must have happened that brought that kind of question to her. She will go out to ask somebody else, and that somebody else may not be the right person, and they will give her the wrong answer. And at the end, some of the answer that they are getting out there might even be something they want to practicalize. And that is why we parents, we must not spare anything at all in terms of training our teenage girl, how the behavior out there, the character, what is the value of your family, what should be paramount in your life, what are the things that you need to focus on as you grow up and all that. So all those things are foundation, because this period of their life is a period of molding them to be the adult that you desire for them to be. I mean, the Bible rightly said, it said, train up a child the way he or she should go. Because if you don't train them up now, somebody else will train them and will give them the wrong doctrine. And at the end of the day, you will begin to blame God that did not do anything. Whereas you as the parent are supposed to have teach them, train them, and bring them up the way they should be, will now become a big issue. But God will help us.
Amen. Thank you so much, sir. The next question I actually want to ask you, I guess you have really delved a little into it, but let me see ask the question. The question is, should sex be an open conversation with one's teenage daughter? Sex. Should it be an open conversation with your own teenage daughter?
It should be, I mean, it should be an open, when you talk about it, open conversation, you remember I said something, and a child comes to you and is asking question, and instead of you to answer the question, you are pushing that child away, you are pushing that girl child away, and at the end, she will go and ask somebody else. So it should be a free flow of discussion. You sit her down, you explain, okay, what do you want to know about this? I mean, we and our teenage girls, sometimes we sit down together, we watch movies, things happen there in the movie, we discuss them, we engage ourselves. I will give you a scenario, which leads to the first thing. I think a couple of weeks ago or thereabouts, my senior teenage girl, we were coming from somewhere, and on the road, because it was just the two of us, she decided to be watching a particular high school movie. And as she was watching it, it got to a particular scene because they were in the camp in that movie. The senior, let me call them senior adults in that movie, they kissed themselves. And when I saw that they wanted to kiss, I said, I reacted that way. I said, Daddy, what is that? I said, they are kissing. He said, but they are adults, which means as far as they are adults, they can kiss. And I said, So right there, we started discussing. We discussed about kissing. We discussed about sex. We discussed about everything that might lead to sex. By the time we finish, in fact, I can tell you that, oh, Daddy, I didn't see it from that angle. She now has a better understanding why I reacted that way, and then we're able to come to a conclusion of what to be done or what not to be done right there and there. Because as we were joining, we were on the road. I was driving and she was right there by my side and all that. So we had a discussion. So there must be a free flow of discussion between you and your teenage girl, especially. Because if you don't do that, I mean, you can imagine after I reacted that way, and she said, oh, but that they are two adults, they can do whatever they want to do. And I said, not like that, my daughter. And I went on to explain some certain things. And then she has a better understanding. And at the end of the day, she now knows it's not just being an adult, but there should be a restriction. As far as you are not married, there is a timing for everything. And that was it. So we must be free to express ourselves, to explain to them, so that they will have a better knowledge of the question that they are asking, especially when it comes to the area of sex that you mentioned.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much, Ma. You are very proactive with the answer you're giving to me, because my next question is on that really. Now, let me now ask the question, because everything is linking together. The next question is, what lines must be drawn for a teenage, or what restrictions must be in place for a girl child regarding relating with the opposite sex? Must there be restrictions regarding the opposite sex? Did you get that?
Yes. Well, I want to look at that question this way. And I want to look at our family, for instance. Okay. We have family friends who have children of their age group.
Okay.
We have family friends who have children of their age group, and they are boys. We have girls. Some families just have boys. So I have a couple of friends. We have a couple of friends who have boys, but all of their age group. So, and they practically grew up together. Some of them, they even went to the same school together. So you cannot restrict them from talking to their friends. You cannot restrict them from talking to their friends. But what you can do is to instill the truth in them. What should be done and what not should be done. Let them know, because you can't say, I grew up with in a family that has 3 boys. So of course I have my brother's friends coming into the house, and my friends also coming into the house. So you can't put a line that I won't say hello to them or not say hello to them. I think the appropriate thing really is for parents to start instilling those values in them. Yes, it's appropriate to talk to your friend. It's appropriate for you to play, but you cannot go beyond that. So you can't say a child should not socialize, because I personally feel that's going too far, because we are a social being, so to speak. So you can't say they should not socialize with their friends, be it boy or girl, But what we are saying here is they shouldn't now, there's, like my husband said, there is time for everything. There is time for everything. Now you are in secondary school. This is not the time for boyfriend in quotes or having lovers. So there is time. There's time for everything. Of course, they have friends. They have friends in class. Maybe probably they are boys or whatever. But that just ends there. Not going overboard to maybe now start having how I put it, affectionate feelings.
Crush. That's what they call it these days. Crush. I have
crush.
a crush.
Yes, in fact, I can even recall a particular occasion when I think it was my first daughter also. She went to when she started secondary school. She went to school, so the school bus picks her and drops her. So one of those days, the school bus pick her. Inside the school bus, there is the senior girls are there, the SS girls are there. So they were talking about crush. But innocently, there's this JS1 girl in the school bus that's there, just wondering what they are giggling and laughing about. So she held this. When she got home, she asked me, he said, "Mommy, what is crush?" And I asked her, and I was taken aback. So I asked her that, where do you hear that word? She said my seniors in the bus were saying that they had a crush on somebody. She was wondering, what is crush? So those are the things she told me then, and she was able to tell me that because we already had a relationship. she was able to tell me. I just also she just said, "Mommy, I want to tell you something when you get home." I called, and that's okay. So when I get home, I just said, "You told me not to tell me something." I said, "I want us to find out what is the meaning of this word." So I explained to her. I explained the meaning of crush and everything to her. She said, "Hey, it's okay." That's why they were now laughing. They were now giggling. Inside bus. She was now telling me that it was when the school bus passed them that they were now giggling. No, she was just telling me things. So I think just trying to give them, caution them that their emotions should not go haywire. That's like I used to tell them that there is time for everything. I used to tell them also that now, particularly during exams, I now say, you are studying now, exam is coming, and after exam, what next? There'll be holiday. So it's better now you focus on this, your study, pass your exam, then there is plenty of time for holiday. So I said that. So there is time for study, then there will be time for exam. Then there will be time for plenty holiday that you will go out, take ice cream and do all sorts. Mom will take you out and all that. So really, because even in life generally, there's time for everything. At the time, we're at that point as well, at a point in time. So gradually, we get there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma. So I want to say something. I should ask the next question because the next question is related to this one, really. So how do you want it?
Okay, maybe you ask the next question and then we'll now see how we can relate all together. Because there's something that came to my mind. Maybe I will start with that one. Go ahead and ask the question. Let's see.
Okay, the next question should have been, I want to put it the way it should have been, but I want to recoin it because you're actually giving me the answer. The question is, at what age is a teenage girl permitted to have a boyfriend? That is the question. Then she answered the question now that they are not permitted to. And she gave me the way she recoined the question for me, really. Now, the way she recoined it is fine. These teenage girls, they have emotions. And the emotions can easily go haywire sometimes. So how will they manage their, of course, like she said, we are made up of different social beings, spiritual beings, this one being, the way we are made up with different things. So how will they manage their emotion so that they will not so that they can manage their life well? That's the question.
Managing their life
because
well.
If you go with emotion, a lot of
now let me quickly just say something here, which I know a lot of us parents were missing. One of the biggest and the greatest thing that all of us parents need to do with our teenage girls, and even with the boys too, is that we must develop a relationship. If we have a relationship with our children, they will not hear mommy or daddy coming home and they go and hide. But if we have a relationship with them, when they hear us coming back from work or from wherever we have gone to, they are looking forward to meet with us. And that is the reason why our senior girl came back from school and was able to approach my wife to ask the question about crush. And whatever feeling that they are having, they will be willing to express. And at the moment they express, then you can now tutor them and help them and guide them through that life process. Because there is phases in life for a teenage girl that they grow gradually. I remember when our first daughter had the monthly visitation. Let me put it that way. I believe you know what I'm talking about. And I think she was somewhere, and my wife, I think she was still in the office, and I also saw on my way, because I left office that day, and my wife called me, this is what I'm hearing, then you need to go and do this. I have to go to the nearest pharmacy to go and buy the necessary things for that period. And from time to time, like yesterday, let me give an instance that happened yesterday. I was talking to one of the younger ones on the phone, and she said, Daddy, I need this. I said, hey, is your visitor here? And she said, yes. Ordinarily, if there is no relationship, she will never want to say that. I remember when they newly started, and they're always hiding it. But because of that relationship, there are things that we have discussed together. She can easily say, yes, daddy is here, so make sure you send this and all that. So you must develop that relationship. And so when those emotions come, you will be able to mentor them, tutor them, and then let them know that no, you need to calm it down. You need to do this, because they will always come. They are human. They are growing up. And as they are growing up, there are some internal development. I'm trying to look for the biological word to use now to explain all these things. There are hormones that are growing. And as accepted, they are not woods. All those things will definitely come up. So it is not left for you as parents to teach them. I mean, I watched a movie the other day between a mother and a child. I think the mother was asking the child if he loved a particular guy. I mean, the daughter was already grown up. He was asking her, do you love the guy? And he said, Mommy, I always feel like this. I always feel like that. And she was explaining to the mother was just giggling. She was just laughing. So at the end of the day, say, you know what? You actually have a sign of love that you have feeling for this guy. So I encourage you guys go ahead. So if there is no relationship, there is no way that girl will be able to open up to the parents of what they are going through. So closeness to the child, care for them, let them know that you love them, let them know that everything that they are going through, you care for them. So in the midst of that, they will be able to explain to you what they are going through. And you as the parent, you'll be able to teach them or to help them through that phase of their life. I think that's basically what I want to say on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And for me, you want to add to that, managing your hormones. He has given me the right word.
Yes.
Managing your hormones.
I think we cannot deny that's even if you have to think back on your own self, you cannot deny that actually exists. But because you have to think about how to handle it for them, and you can handle it by also engaging them in some other things. You could engage them in some other things, take their minds off, understand that, okay, this is happening to them, and explain reasons why those hormones must be put under checks, and refocus those energies into something else. Also try and know the kind of friends they keep. Who are their friends? What are they discussing with? Because sometimes some of these hormones run haywire because of some discussions or some things they've heard or discussed. So if some of those discussions aren't brought up, they would those things wouldn't have run icon there. They almost would have gone to on an increase like that. So one needs to really sit them down, also engage them, buy them books, things that will take their mind off what is not meant to be as at now. So that they focus on the most paramount thing now, which is their life, before engaging. Because really, now, at the point in time, by God's grace, they will get married. Almost can run a wire at that time. So everything has its time. Yes, really.
Thank you so much, Swa. Thank you. In fact, I'm just giggling the way you're saying everything. Thank you so much. I'm reserving my comments. I don't want to comment my reserve. So let me put it there. Now, the next question to both of you is, should a teenage girl be permitted to bring home her male friends? Not a boyfriend now.
I think I mentioned earlier that you cannot stop them from socializing. But male friends, now I want to understand that male friends. Because which male friends now? Is it the male friends? Maybe they are friends in school that are males come visiting.
Now let me even explain it further, because the way you are even saying something else is coming to my mind. Let's see it this way. Fine, this is just my friend. nothing attached to it, no string attached to it. But that is my own feeling, really. That is me towards that my male friend. But do I know what is within that my male friend? That, do you understand? I don't know. Maybe he's the kind of person that is really having, something for me that I really do not know. And most of the time, you always want to come to my house. What of your parents? Are they always at home? Things like that. So should you bring in, should you're a teenage girl bringing home their male friend, should it be a sign of restriction or something? How will you explain that with what I've said now? Should they be restricted? Did you get it?
Maybe I should try and say something about this. If you cast your mind back, my wife said something earlier on that now, if I get what you are saying, you are not talking about the boyfriend thing, which you define as being affectionate and all that. This is just a male that they are now friend, either by school or by our parents' children, that they somehow meet and then they are now friends. They are friends because there's a meeting somewhere and all that. Now, I think the basic thing is this. The foundation needs to be laid so that if there is any ulterior motive by any of them, I mean, I have seen situations whereby the guy has a motive, the girl doesn't have a motive. And the reason why I want to visit the girl home is because he has an ulterior motive. But because the girl was apt or was quick to understand, he was able to push the boy away. But if it's just on a clear note of friend, our parents are friend, we are in school together, without any string attached, I don't think there should be any limitation of them coming home and just visit and go. After all, when we are also young, we visit our opposite sex without any.
Low. The network must come back. What is happening? I don't know if my viewers can still hear me. If my viewers can hear me, please, you can please type yes, just to be sure the network is from there. Oh, the network is actually from, okay, fine, they're back now.
Yeah. So like I was saying, once the value system is already known, and then you are good to go. It's just to make sure that the lines are, your boundary, you know what to do and you know what not to do. And then you move on. Because, I mean, like, I'm not too sure who I was telling. Parents will say, oh, don't touch, don't do this, don't do that. And if you touch, you will get pregnant without even having intercourse or whatever. So a girl child will grow to know that even if you get too close to a boy, you will get pregnant. And at the end of the day, the girl child does not have a boy that he can call her friend. And the girl child will now grow up, and that old age, you now begin to want to develop friends at that time. Because when she was younger, she was prevented from even get close to the opposite sex. But the question is that these are people that they will be in school together. They will be in university. There are boys and girls in the university. You cannot, separate them. So the question is, what are you going to do at that particular time? And that is why you must teach your child the way they should go. Because at the end of the day, they will go by it. That's my own thought.
If the foundation is faulty, what can they actually do? So the foundation is key. They must be taught.
Very important. Very, very important. Very important.
All right.
Also for parents, it's a learning process. We can't say we know it all. We have also learned from experiences of others. We've read books, So as parents also, you also equally need to be educating yourself, try and flow try and know what is happening around you. Don't be Don't be a laid back parent. Flow in their terms, understand what is happening around the youth. Don't be blinded to all these things. Don't just imagine that it can't happen to my daughter, it can't happen to my son, it can't happen to me. No, don't be blinded by that. At every point, that you too should open your eyes wide, notice things, read up things, interact with other parents, get experiences, learn from them, improve on yourself also. And there are things that are happening that you are not aware of. Make sure you are abreast of it as well. Discuss it with them. In this what they call themselves, millennial age, one need to be fully abreast of things because they are moving fast. It's computer age, everything. They are moving. In fact, they are moving at the sky at a very rocket speed. So you need to really be on top and ensure that they are catching up with what is happening, the trends that is happening.
And one other thing is that there are no two children that are the same. The nature of a child from one to another are totally different. But if you think that is the way you have handled this one that you handle the second one, you might end up causing more trouble for yourself. Get to understand them, relate with them based on that, and you will see you get the best out of them at the end.
Thank you so much. So I'm really getting a lot of things to take home. Getting a lot of things. But before I ask the next question, I quickly want to say a big thank you to our viewers, because when the network went, went bad now, I even thought it was from just to get a quick response, and our viewers were able to respond. And I'm saying thank you to all of you. Without you, the clinic wouldn't have continued. And I'm saying thank you, and thank you. Now let's continue with our questions and answer. No, before the next question, I want to say something. I want to add to what Auntie Fumi said, not quite long. She said we should not be laid back. We should learn to embrace ourselves to get something new, learn what is going on, what is in vogue. And now back to what she said. She said something, we're talking about crush. If she never knew what the language that the teenage girls, what they use these days, they use it as crush. By the time my daughter came home to ask, and imagine you telling your daughter, sorry, I don't know what crush is. How do you think would have been the feeling of that daughter? Do you understand what I'm saying? If you were laid back and you were not used to what is happening in the society, your daughter coming home to say, Mommy, I heard something today. They said crush. And we're like, please, I don't beg, please just go away. What do you think would have happened to your daughter? It's because we are able to I really want to know what is happening. And we are able to win your child back. Thank you. So what she said now, what me I gained from what she said is, me as a mother, I should learn, I should learn what is going on, learn new things, be proactive. Yes, be proactive. Learn what is going on in my society so that I will not be able to lose my children. If my children are asking me things and I'm like, I don't know this day, I don't know tomorrow, I don't every day, I don't know. What do you think will happen to my child? Definitely, I'm going to lose my children to the world. So learn new things to win your children. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. That is what I gained from what you said. Now, our next question, I think is going to be the last question. I'm not too sure. Is one question in one. But I want to split it into two. It's one question really, but I want to split it into two for both of you to answer it separately. Now, the question is, how can parents help define future romantic relationships for their teenage daughter? Now, I said I want to split it into two. Now, I don't know who is going to answer first. Maybe it's Pastor Jackson or Pastor Fumi. The question is, how can a mother or how can a father help define future romantic relationship for their teenage daughters? That is the question. So she will see it from the from the mother's angle, where you're going to see it from the father's angle. So let's hear from both of you. Answer. Who's going first? I'm thinking.
That's a tough question. It's a very tough question, and I'm thinking, I'm cracking my head at what is the expectation in this question. And I'm
Okay.
asking, and I'm thinking now. We are talking about the expectation in relation to the future romance, the future whatever. Something just
And
came
your
to my
daughter
mind.
is going to get married now. So how
Yeah,
can
and I'm going there. I'm going there. During my, was it my last year birthday or thereabouts, I got a card from my daughter, my senior, the girl this time around, and she wrote something in that card. I'm trying to remember the way she coined it. And she said, I think she said, she called me King Ravi. She said, Daddy, you will always be my king, but
Hmm.
the prince, and I said, the prince will come. And I said, I'm king. There's a prince that is coming. I think that's the way she put it. Something like that. I said, and I looked at her. I said, what do you mean? I said, yes, now, Daddy. I said, prince. So after that day, when we now engage in discussion, then I will not sister say, well, you've already told me there's a priest somewhere. What am I going to do? Then she now push me and say, Daddy, no, it's not like that. It's not like that. Now we are engaging at that level. Now I know that she's looking forward to a day that one young, handsome, well-built, rich guy will come around and say, oh, sir, I want your daughter's hands in marriage. So one of the things that we do most of the time, apart from trying to trade them on the emotional side and how to handle the opposite side, says we also do some level of prayer of the man that is coming, of the kind of character, the kind of attitude that should be in that man. And not just that alone, there are some times that we also do some level of, I can also tell you some of the questions she has asked me of my feeling. What do I think about this kind of person? Are you getting me? Raw discussion.
Mhm.
Daddy, what do you think about me doing this? She wants my opinion about it. And this has to do with the question you are asking. And I also give her my candid opinion, but at the same time, I will not make it as you must do this, like a do and a does or whatever. Like if you don't do this, this will happen. It's an engagement, it's a discussion. And at the end of the day, we end the discussion on a very mutual level of everybody living happy. But if I want to come hard and be telling you that, oh, the kind of guy you must marry must be this, must be from this tribe, must be speaking like this, must be doing this, then we're all in trouble. And already a what is that word now? A perception has been built. And if she sees somebody from that angle, probably is even the person that God has ordained for her, because of what daddy has said, she will begin to draw back. So it's a very tricky thing. And I pray that God will help us. We will continue to do the
Amen.
little we are doing now.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So yes, it's through prayer. You can define your future romantic relationship for your daughter by praying. That is what you said now as a father.
Prayer is very key.
Okay. Okay. Then discussing some things with that too. Seeing you as the king, the prince is coming. Okay. Thank you. Then let's hear from the mother's aspect of it now.
Okay, I think I will toe the same line because at times they will jokingly say that I hope, sometimes they say, maybe when their dad buys me something, and maybe at a point they just see, they say, where do you get this one? I say, your daddy bought it for me, that kind of, they say, hope my husband will be buying this for me too, that kind of thing. Hope my husband will buy this for me too. So when they say that, sometimes I just tell them that God adds that they've been good girls and with the right values, that I feel that with all what if they continue in what we've been telling them all this while, they're able to study, able to have a career, able to be, how do I put it, able to have achieved, most, particularly the educational goal and everything, that a time will come, of course, when the right man will come searching for them. And that also required them to be attentive, able to dictate who is a good one. And most importantly, for them also, apart from me praying for them, they should learn also to commit it into God's hands. Because they are the one who is going to go into that experience. I'm experiencing my own now. They will be the one to go into that experience. So they should pray. They too will have to involve, they have to be consciously be praying for their future. And in praying for their future, everything encompasses it. Apart from having a career, having a home, having the right husband, because I think all these things matter to make you a complete person. So I will say prayer most importantly, because we are Christians, we don't have anybody to call on to but God. That God should guide them and lead them so that they will marry the appropriate person for them.
Thank you, sir.
Let me just say this. Something just came to her when she was talking, and some of the things they normally, because as parents, you must live an exemplary life. How do you people put it? In life, you should showcase, you should show them example. I will tell you, one of the things that normally happen between us is that when my wife and I were in one discussion or the other, the next thing I would now say, Shoke, come and hear. See what mommy is doing. See what your mom is saying. I beg. It's your wife, or the two of you should settle yourself and all that. Because they have seen the way we relate with one another. They have seen the way we react in situation. They have seen the way, my wife mentioned about buying things for ourselves and all that. And she wants to also looking forward to how she'll be doing when she also get to her own home. And most of the time, you say, okay, let me hear the two of you. But I know that the two of you are the way you would do yourself. Are you getting me now? So that building, that example that we are showing to them, we go a long way to help them to also build their home, their relationship with their husband when the time comes, because it is very critical. You don't want to be, that's why I pity some men sometimes that beat their wife, or some men and women that always quarrel. The thing is that in their subconscious, they will be thinking that marriages are like that. That marriage is about the guy beating the wife, whereas that is not the marriage. That is not it. Because the moment that's what they are seeing from their parents every day, they are shouting up and down, they just say, look, I don't want to get into that kind of thing. And it will affect their emotional life, and they will never look forward to getting married. But when they see the good example from their parents, they will look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma, and thank you so much, sir. Sincerely, we have just 3 minutes more to go, but I will really love to ask this question. It's not my own planned question. Somebody sent it to me, and I want to. It's about what both of you said. The person said, Auntie Tosin, I want to disagree with what the guest said. And he said that, fine, what are the fundamental things that, fine, you believe so much in prayer. You believe so much in prayer. But if the guy is the kind of person that does not, fine, you can buy things for your wife, for your spouse, like this Auntie Fumi is doing. But if are there not different ways in which you can still express yourself aside buying of things? That if, for example, I don't want to read it the way they said it, but you definitely will know the person who asked the question. That are there no other ways in which you can express love to people? Not because so that your teenage children, you not grow up and feel that, oh, because mommy is doing this, then I must do this because daddy is doing this. So that is the way my husband must behave to me. If the husband is not the kind of person that knows how to buy things, but he communicates his love in some other ways. Do you understand? So that the children will not grow up and feel that, oh, this is the way my husband must always do it because that is the way my daddy does it. So what can you say to that before we quickly
I think the person that asked that question got us wrong. What we just said was just an example of, I just made an example of a day when they see I'm just giving an example of if the kids see a gift with me and say, where do you get this? Of course, it's not that the boy he buys gift from it every day. That was just an example I gave. A one-off example, it's just an example I gave. So there are various ways. Of course, there are various ways to show love. Be present, even just sitting down talking. It's a bit of communication. It's you can. There's a various way you can share love. You sitting down watching movies together. It's way of of being together. What I just said was that they've noticed over time that okay, this is the way, okay, this gift was bought for my mom by my dad. They say, hope the daddy bought you this, just a reference to that gift. Not that she meant that so she will expect her husband to be doing that. It was just a comment that was made by her. So it's not how do I put it? It's not an assumption that
it should be a way of life.
Yes, it's not.
The caring should be a way of life, and showing love should be a way of life.
Yeah, it should be.
Let me just quickly say this, just like my wife said. The question we need to ask ourselves is that how many times do we actually buy gifts? Are you getting me now? I think one of the most important things that should be done, which we are doing, is communication. Remember, if you remember very well, there are some days we call it movies night. We sit together, especially when the children are home. We all sit together, we watch one movie. There are days we just sit down and we are just gisting. So it's not just about gift, is just one little thing out of it all. One little thing of so many other things that we do together. We communicate, we play together. I mean, when you come to our home, you will think that we are children. I remember a friend of mine one day, I think we gave him a lift, and the following day he came to meet me and said, sir, I want to have the kind of life that you are. I said, what do you mean? He said, the way you and your wife were gisting, you are gisting as if you are friends. I said, yes, we are friends. He said, because what he has seen in other homes is totally different from what he was saying that day. You must be free with yourself. You must be able to accommodate everything. So at the end of the day, your children are seeing that you are flowing, and they'll be looking forward to somebody that they can also flow together. I tell people, don't marry. This is not a marriage session anyway, but this is not that just came to my mind. Marry your friends. Don't marry somebody you just meet along the road. I say, okay, that's my... No. Because the relationship that is built up can flourish in a certain way, unlike any other one. We interact, we communicate, we play, we push ourselves around, and then you think that we are children. By God's grace, we are 18 years, going to 19 years in marriage. And God has been helping us. And I know that God will continue to help us to the very last time.
Amen. So thank you. Okay.
Just a tiny, tiny bit of the things, of the example that we need to show to our children. Of course, our value system, when you say A, let your A be A. Don't lie to never you lie to your children. They are part of the example that you need to let them know. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, Ma, and thank you so much, sir. You've really done justice to all the questions from a very candid opinion. You've really done well. I really want to appreciate both of you. Oh, okay. Comments. They've really done well. Supported the best gift is in marriage, among other things, should be the quality time spent together, good communication, etc., etc. Well, a lot of people are saying interesting. Thank you, very correct. Fine. I'm just reading the comment from others. For God so loved the world that he gave. Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I will not be able to read all the comments because our time is off already. Is 7:03 and we are supposed to close by 7 o'clock on the dot. We don't like extending it. So I would like to call it a date. And this is where we are calling it a date now on this program. I will not ask you any further question. The last question is always, what's candid advice? But I won't ask. All the answers you've been giving is candid advice. Candid advice. Thank you. It's true. It's all his advice. I really want to appreciate you. Thank you so much, sir, for the honor. Thank you so much, ma, for the honor. I appreciate both of you. Despite your busy schedule, yet you were still able to honor me, honor God in me. I appreciate my naughtiness, yet you came online. Thank you so much. And to all our viewers, I say a big thank you. Our special guest last week, 2 weeks ago, Pastor Layo. I really appreciate you came online today too. I appreciate everybody. I really appreciate all of you. Time will not permit me to be saying it one by one because of time. But like I said, this is where I'll be calling it a date on our program. And my prayer for you is that to all of us who are parents, none of our children will become evil children. None of us will lose our children to the world. All of us will gain our children and we not sorrow over them. Is my candid prayer for you. You will always see your children and rejoice that indeed God has helped me over these children. So shall it be your testimonies in the name of Jesus. Until we meet again next Sunday, I remain my humble self and your loyal friend, Oluwatosin Oladimeji Ladipo. Till then, bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
It's a pleasure. Bye.
It's a pleasure.
Nice to thank you.
God bless you.